Now, the Premier, Jason Kenney, said as many as 6,600 people could die as a result of the COVID-19 outbreak in the province. That is, if people don't follow the government's guidelines to halt the spread of the virus. Premier Kenney said he expects the province would see 25% unemployment too by the time the pandemic ends. And we have a report coming in from Thomas I. Likeness. Thomas.
Premier Jason Kenney in a dinnertime broadcast told Albertans the most probable scenario would see the infection rate peak in mid-May. By the end of the summer, Kenney says there could be up to 800,000 infections and the death rate somewhere between 400 and 3,100. Kenney says under the more serious but less likely scenario, infections would peak at the beginning of May, but we'd have up to 1 million cases, and by the end of the summer, between 500 and 6,600 deaths. The Premier says he doesn't want to frighten people with these numbers. He admits they are sobering, and will they come about? A lot will depend on just how people behave between now and then.
I want Albertans instead to see them as a challenge, perhaps the greatest challenge of our generation. Those numbers are not inevitable. How this actually plays out, how many people are infected, how many die, and whether we overwhelm our healthcare system, all of that depends on us and our choices.
How long will these public health measures remain in place? Kenney says things might ease up by the end of May, but it's going to be a slow, gradual return to normal.
But we simply cannot risk letting the virus loose in Alberta. That would create a public health catastrophe, which would force an even more stringent lockdown in the future, leaving our economy even further battered.
As things ease up, there's going to be other measures. An aggressive system of mass testing. Up to 20,000 tests are planned each day. There will be precise tracking of close contacts of infected people. Strong border screening. Now, the premiers have been very critical of the federal government for taking so long to close the borders to foreign travelers. So he says even though we don't have any control over who comes into the province, he will be screening very strictly and quarantining international arrivals. And those quarantine orders, they're going to be monitored as well. He says they'll use technology, including smartphone apps. As well, the Premier would like to encourage the use of masks in crowded places, places such as mass transit. Kenney says the economy will be slow to recover because it's not only been affected by the pandemic. You see, energy is the province's big industry, and we're caught in the middle of a price war with Saudi Arabia and Russia, so we've got these twin problems, the pandemic, the price war. As always, I wish you good health, take care of others, and take care of yourselves. Stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned to Eagle News for accurate and balanced coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic. In Edmonton, Thomas I. Likeness, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.